I'm going to react to the black on Asian violence in the United States, and all of these criminalities against Asians were videotaped. They were caught by CCTVs or bystanders in these Democrat cities in America. So let's start with a video showing a Filipino American who was victimized, and he was knifed in the face. So let's check.
Administrative Assistant Noel
Getting hot.
Quintana was on his way to work last Wednesday morning, February 3rd, when he was attacked by another passenger who slashed his face from ear to ear while inside a New York City subway train.
He started kicking my bag.
But the harasser quickly turned into an attacker who left Quintana bleeding from his face, frozen with...
So this guy is a Filipino American who hoped that he's gonna find American dream in the United States. So his name is Quintana, last name is Quintana. He's an elderly man who was knifed from ear to ear by guests, okay? And why the hell the media refused to talk about the race or skin color of his attacker, okay? Because the attacker of Mr. Quintana is a black man, in solid Democrat city of New York. And all of this, incidents, all of this violence against Asians in the United States were done in solid Democrat states and cities.
Ah,
I thought he punched me, but I couldn't do anything when I touched my face. I saw a lot of blood on my hands. I screamed, help, help, and nobody helped me.
He was screaming, help, help. And he said, nobody helped me. And he was about to gasp and cry. He's still terror-eyed and obviously traumatized by this incident. Okay, so the main topic for today, if I didn't tell you yet, is why the hell nobody wanted to help these Asians being victimized and attacked by blacks in America. And I'm going to tell you the reasons why after this. Okay, but first, we're going to react to these videos. I'm going to show you these footages of Asians being attacked by blacks. Most probably, my wild guess is that these black men and women in America who attacked Asians, that they were either registered Democrats or they're Democrat voters or liberals. Okay, so let's continue.
Father Julian Hagodelia, a Filipino priest whom Quintana volunteers for, could not believe that no one tried to help him after the suspect fled.
No one tried to help him.
And for somebody to be attacked like that, and nobody went.
Remember, Mr. Quintana, a Filipino-American, an elderly, was attacked in broad daylight in New York. Okay, in broad daylight by a black man, and nobody helped him. Okay, and this happened again. I'm going to reiterate because you need to listen. You need to understand that Mr. Quintana, a Filipino-American, was attacked by a black man in broad daylight in a solid Democrat state and city. Okay, and we all know that the Democrats love to pretend to be people for the minorities, people who care for the people of color. But these people, the American Democrats, are actually psychopaths. If you're gonna check on how they behave online, how they attacked their political opponents, it's psychotic. Okay, you're gonna see in their eyes how hateful they are. They are liars and manipulators. They are narcissistic, vile creatures. Okay, whose only goal is to achieve power and to gain power and they're trying to achieve power by trying to portray themselves as for the poor, for the people, for the minorities, for blacks and for Asians. And mind you, black Americans in the United States are being used as their political pawns. I'm gonna let you know that blacks in America are Democrats' modern day slaves, okay? Because the Democrats, they were the party of KKK, slavery, Ku Klux Klan, and segregation in America. And they're trying to have this, or to promote their switch theory, that the two parties, the Democrats and Republicans, have switched. And this is a lie, because if you're gonna ask them who switched, who actually switched, because if you know Al Gore, okay, a Democrat, and he's a vice president of Bill Clinton, his father, he was in politics. His father was in politics for decades, since the segregation in America, and they did not switch. They did not switch parties. Okay, they did not switch parties because these people are manipulators. They're psychopaths. They're liars, and they're trying to claim that they are for the minorities, they're for blacks, they're for Asians, in order to keep their power. And if you don't know yet, creepy Joe Biden, creepy pedo Joe Biden, or Joe Beijing as I would like to call him, is an unabashed racist. Okay, he's a friend of Robert Byrd, okay, who was a KKK member, who became a senator, who then became a friend of not just Biden but also of Hillary Clinton. Okay, so I tend to know all this because I do my research. Okay, I've been studying American politics for years, and if an American liberal or Democrat is going to debate me, I'm gonna make sure that it's gonna get destroyed, because these people don't know anything. Okay, all they know is emotional blackmail. They're trying to play your emotion. Again, these people are manipulative psychopaths. So let's continue. As I said earlier, okay, Joe Biden is an unabashed racist, a friend of a KKK member who became a senator, a Democrat senator. So they claim that there was a switch. But Robert Byrd, a KKK member, did not switch. Okay, he did not become a Republican. Instead, he stayed with the Democrat Party and became a senator. Okay, some people probably who are watching this might be saying right now that there's a switch, but there's no switch at all. The switch is, again, a psychopathic attempt by Democrats to project their own racist history and vileness and evil on their opponents, their political opponents, the GOP. So, I'm an atheist. I'm not just an anti-PC Asian, but I'm also an atheist. So you must be thinking that, how can you be an atheist and be a supporter of the GOP? So I don't care about parties, I don't care about parties. I care about ideas. So Joe Biden, an unabashed racist, a pedophile, a child molester, he became the president, a puppet in the United States because of fraud. Okay, fraud is what made him win the election.
He came for his rescue. It's over.
It took 100 stitches to close the facial wound.
Wow,
And as
100
Quintana
stitches.
continues to recover, he admitted that this is not the first time he was violently attacked in New York City.
Not the first time in New York City, not the first time. Mind you, it's New York City, one of the most liberal cities in America. Alright? They've been voting for Democrats for years, except, during the term of Rudy Giuliani. Okay? But these, or others, but New York is definitely a liberal state.
I was 2 years ago. I was punched and I was walking after my board meeting in Harlem.
The New York City Police Department Department described the assailant as a 20 to 30-year-old
20 to 30-year-old black thug. Okay, black thug.
male with black afro-style hair.
Okay, it's good that in this report, because it's ABS-CBN, but nobody, not the fake news liberal media in the United States would dare say that. They would not dare, describe the attacker. They're not gonna do that because the attacker is a black guy, and this is an ABS-CBN news, story. Okay, so let's look at. We're gonna check on the comments later on.
Last seen wearing a black North Face jacket, red hoodie, blue jeans, red bandana, light collar sneakers, and a brown Louis Vuitton face mask.
Louis Vuitton
Anyone with
face
information about the incident may
Probably
call
fake.
NYPD's.
Alright, so again, if you notice, this Filipino reporter from ABS-CBN mentioned the attacker's race or skin color, but no American fake news media reporter would ever mention the race or ethnicity of the attacker. Because if they're gonna do that, they're gonna get fired. They're gonna get canceled. So cancel culture is one of the weapons or one of the tactics under the umbrella of political correctness in America. I forgot to mention that, by the way. So, okay, so if you're gonna check on the comments, get the attacker and let him rot. And so these are the comments if you're gonna check. Okay, so that's one Asian or Filipino-American elderly who was attacked by a black man in a liberal city in America.